The radio voice for the past 11 Super Bowls, Kevin Harlan, joins us now. You can hear his calls on Westwood One, CBS, and TNT, and he'll be calling his 12th Super Bowl in L.A. coming up here. Kevin, it's great to have you. Let's start with some of the headlines here. How big a problem do you think this is for the NFL if the legitimacy of games is being questioned?
Well, significant. Integrity is the baseline of all corporations, of all leagues, and the NFL has thrived with the kind of integrity that has propelled them to the most famous sport in this country and one of the best worldwide. The Rooney Rule was put in about 10 years ago so that this wouldn't happen, that every candidate that was in the radar, in the sight of a team looking for a head coach could get a fair and equal interview for an opening. And clearly, if these allegations are correct and have some foundation to them, and I would say they probably do, because Brian Flores, a respected coach, has come out and had specifics with text messages and some other things that will back him up, say a lot about where that rule has gone, maybe how it has gone astray, and what needs to be tweaked. I would tell you this, that the commissioner, Roger Goodell, when things like this come across his doorstep, he is very quick to act, and there'll be fines, there'll be penalties against the teams that have broken this rule. And my guess is from this point forward, this will not be an issue, but it needs investigation, and the league will look into it for sure.
What about the tanking issues, Kevin? Are there talk of a lottery? Perhaps there's a way to maybe change the last 4 games of the season where the bottom 8 teams get a point or move up in the draft if they win versus if they lose. There's also talk of a single elimination tournament at the end for the bottom 8 teams. Do you like any of those?
Well, the NBA has actually done something to stop tanking in its league, and they've used that little tournament just to get in and make these games relevant. And so the fan base knows that what they're watching is legit and there is integrity for every game. I think it's hard to really tank, and I say that because these players have got contracts coming up. Right. Every game is on tape, and they study these kids, and they know their futures are on the line if they don't perform. I can't think of a player that would move off of that so that the team could lose to better help its drafting position. To me, it's a pretty shallow pool. If they don't play a certain player, if they call the wrong kind of plays, I could see they could manipulate it, but it would take a lot of different moving parts to make it work. So, it would be very difficult, especially in the NFL.
Yeah, we saw the Jets do that. Everybody thought they would tank. They ended up winning the last game and losing the number 1 draft pick. All right, let's talk about Super Bowl, Kevin, because I'm sure for you, you've called it 11 times, but I'm sure it's still a thrill for you. Not the 2 teams we expected, but 2 great storylines nonetheless.
One's a Cinderella, hasn't been there since 1988. They had the worst record in the NFL a couple years ago. In Cincinnati, they've spent $260 million signing free agents and signing draft choices on the defensive side alone. And then they draft this Joe Burrow, who's an Ohio kid, grew up a Bengals fan, as the number 1 pick after winning a national championship at LSU. And he has been everything, in fact, even more than they could have dreamt. And then you've got the Rams, a more mature team that is ready now. They make a big trade in the offseason for a veteran quarterback who had never won. They signed 2 interesting veterans who had sparks in the past, but had kind of leveled off a little bit here. In November, they signed Odell Beckham Jr. and a great defensive rusher in Von Miller. Right. And those moves have all paid dividends. The quarterback in particular, Matthew Stafford, has been sensational. I think the game is going to be a lot closer than people think.
Hey, Kevin, we were laughing in our production meeting today about what has become, in a way, kind of your trademark. When someone or something runs on the field, TV cuts away, but you actually do the play-by-play, and we have a clip of one of them. Here it is.
5:03 to go. Someone has run on the field. Some guy with a bra. And now he's not being chased. He's running down the middle, the 40. Arms in the air in a victory salute. He's pulling down his pants. Put up your pants, my man. Pull up those pants. Pull up your pants. Take off the bra and be a man.
So I'm guessing this sort of happened organically for you, Kevin. It's happening. Why not describe it, right?
Yeah, in radio, as you know, you're in the weeds, so you're calling everything you see. You see hot dog wrappers blowing across your field, you're mentioning that. You're seeing a player wipe his wet hands on the sides of his pants to dry them, you're mentioning that. And this guy ran right through, and the security didn't get him. And this is the Super Bowl. This is the most secure place on the planet, aside from the White House, and this guy's allowed to run out there. Sometimes I hope people took it as having fun, tongue in cheek.
Oh, they love it, yeah.
But it did happen, and it was a part of the game. And if you were in the stadium, that's what you saw. And I called what I saw, and I'm actually sorry I saw it now that I think back.
Fair enough. Kevin, you're considered one of the best in the business. I'm curious who your mentors are, someone you look up to this day, someone you learn from or maybe admire, past or present. Well,
there are a lot of great voices out there. Jim Simpson of NBC, Ray Scott of CBS, Pat Summerall, Don Criqui. Some of the best voices right now are Dan Schulman at ESPN. I could go on and on. I love the business, and I love the voice, because voice on radio in particular means so much. You can dictate what the listener, pictures in his or her mind. And that's a great challenge. Right. It's the purest form of broadcasting. You're a reporter, the right words, the right tempo, all of it. So I love the challenge. It's always great. Jack Buck was another one that I look up to. I grew up listening to him in St. Louis and in Green Bay, and he was a guy that I admire greatly.
Yep, I was a St. Louis product myself.
Oh, good.
One other thing, Kevin, what does it mean to you? I know you've called a lot of them. This will be your 12th, to be the voice of record for so many big and important and historic football games.
Well, sitting in that seat where Jack Buck did 17 Super Bowls separately, 9 one stint and 8 the next, but it is not lost on me that this is a incredibly prestigious position. I'm honored that they would think I'd be worthy enough to do the games. I never take it for granted. And when they are playing that national anthem before the game, and there is a lot of emotion, and the jet fighters are flying over that stadium, my eyes well up with tears. It's a patriotic moment, but it's a wonderful personal achievement. And while I may never measure up to the great voices that have preceded me, like I said before, I love the challenge of trying to attain that level or get as close as I can. And I consider myself incredibly blessed and lucky to get that assignment every year.
Well, Kevin, we are lucky to have you. It's been a pleasure. I'll leave you with Jack Buck's sign-off. Thanks for your time this time. Till next time. Appreciate your time, brother. Take
Wonderful.
care.
Thank you so much. Same to you.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.